Hey, what is up, you guys? In today's video, I am going to be showing you how I got this eyeshadow look that I am currently wearing, and I did it using the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. If you guys have not heard about this palette, you must have not been on the internet. No, or you must not just be into makeup like I am, which is totally fine. But if you are interested in seeing how we achieved this look and what my first thoughts and impressions were on this palette, just keep on watching. So in today's video, I'm going to try and keep it mostly Morphe everything, just so it's consistent with the brand and you guys can get to know a little bit more about them if you're not familiar. I have pulled aside most of my Morphe brushes. I will let you know what those are as I go along, and then if I grab any brushes that aren't Morphe, I'll be sure and fill you in on that. Morphe is a great brand. I have tons of their stuff and really love it. But there are some things that aren't my favorite. There's a few palettes that I've used from them that I do have some fallout from, not necessarily the original Jaclyn Hill palette, but some of their other ones. So just to give you guys a little bit of a expectation of Morphe or what their normal stuff is like, I have a couple palettes out here that I will show you guys so you have expectations. Most of their palettes run between $29 and $39 on average. I may be off on those numbers slightly, but the Jaclyn Hill palette is $39 if you're looking to get it. But there are tons of big YouTubers out there that have affiliate codes, so just jump over to one of their pages, and most of their description boxes you can grab that code and get an extra discount as well. So first up, I'm going to show you guys just traditional Morphe palette. This is one right here, and this is the 35F palette. It comes in a black kind of hard plastic container. Sorry, mine are kind of dirty. I do use them a lot and I travel with them sometimes. And they come with just like a clear seal on top, so you can see based on this seal that they do have a little bit of fallout in the pans inside the palette, but that doesn't bother me too much. They do have great colors, great pigmentation. It's just flat black plastic inside, no mirror, anything. But I will show you guys what is so funny. So I have this little mirror that I'll be using today as I'm applying my eyeshadow for the look that we're gonna do. But this is one of their small palettes. This is just like a great easy one to travel with, but it is so funny that these little ones have mirrors. And they're just 9 colors. So these are great to travel with. I do love that they have a mirror in there. I wish that some of the bigger ones did, but I do like the smaller size with the mirror because it is easier to hold as you apply your makeup. And then I have the original Jaclyn Hill palette here. I do believe that they have changed it up a slight bit from the initial release, and then as the palette has been out for a while, they've slightly changed the packaging and some things. I don't think I got the very first round that were released, so maybe this one's like the second or third round of release shadows. So on mine, it is a hard a hard paper sort of cardboard packaging. There is pictures of the shadows on the back here. It has her name. It's kind of glossed and metallic there on the front. And then, sorry, it is so dirty inside, but I do use a lot. So there is the inside. It just has a little note from her. And then these are the eyeshadows. So hopefully you guys can see those. They're a great variety of colors, and I do take this palette with me a lot of places. I do some bridal makeup from time to time, and it does have such gorgeous colors to create bridal looks. So it is definitely in my arsenal most of the time. So I was very impressed with her first palette, and I'm going to just grab the box with the new one in here. So as you guys can see, it is literally, I've opened the box, but it's still wrapped in the bubble wrap paper. So this is my very first opening of it. I will probably, oh no, there's no plastic on it. I was gonna say I might have to cut it open, but I don't think that I will. So it comes in this really pretty box. You guys can see there. It's just a nice box, and then the back of it has a little note from Jaclyn and this really gorgeous picture of her with a look on from this palette. And let's see what it's like on the inside. So it is bubble wrapped. So that makes me happy because it took about a week to get here, so I'm sure it was in lots of different shipment facilities. It seems to be similar, like a little cardboard sort of packaging to the front here, and it does have a little film in it. I kind of like to keep these films. I don't know if her first one had it or not, but I did keep it in that 35F palette that I showed you guys, just because it helps keep this little part cleaner. You definitely don't have to keep those. I just like to keep things as neat as possible. So here we go. This is the palette. These are the colors. so you guys can see it there. They are really gorgeous. I absolutely love these colors on first impression. The first thing that I did notice is that the color shades are underneath. So versus them being on the back, like her first palette I had, these colors are printed underneath, which does make it a little bit easier if you're following along to a video that somebody's doing using this. You don't have to flip it over each time. The colors are right there. And let me grab another palette that I have that's also Morphe. That is one of my favorites, and it's the 3502. There was a 35O, and then this is the 3502. It's slightly different because the insert, the little plastic insert, you have to keep it because it has the colors printed on there. But this palette has a lot of those warm browns and then pops of color as well. Obviously, the one by Jaclyn, as you could see, is much more vibrant than this one, but I have blue eyes, so oranges and warm tones really give that pop. So this is one of my go-to palettes all the time to use on myself. Not necessarily ideal for just an everyday look, or if you're not someone like me that's in a cosmetic industry where you can kind of wear whatever fun eyeshadow you want, and you're just looking for a basic day-to-day, that's not ideal. But I just wanted to show you guys that one because it has a lot of those warm colors, but then a lot of pops, just like this palette does. So it kind of gave me the same excited feelings. So it looks like on first impression, so let me tell you guys the things I'm so excited about. So these cranberry shades are beautiful. I have searched the world over, looking and asking people at Ulta and Sephora and watching videos online to find a true cranberry tone. And it looks like this color Crazy is sort of like that. There are a few shades that look similar that I've tried out before, but they either translate really purple, really red, or really pink. Not a true cranberry. So I'm excited to try out that color for sure for like winter looks and fall looks. I think that that will be super stunning. And then I also really like this section kind of in here. If you guys can see, it reminds me of one of the Naked palettes. The colors are very shimmery, very elegant. And then the browns are great transition transition colors that you can use for everyday looks. So I do think that the palette is awesome in that way. And another thing that I love is this white shade here. It is supposed to be a flat white, but to me on first glance, it does almost seem like it has a flesh toned or sort of pink undertone. Maybe that's so it doesn't show up chalky on the skin. I'll have to see as I play with that. And then on the opposite spectrum, there is a black. Now the black is not a flat black. It does have a little bit of shimmer in it, but I think that when she was introducing the palette to begin with, I'm pretty sure she said that the shimmer in there helps the black not to go chalky, and because shimmers usually have oils in them, it really makes the pigment more opaque and that really dark color. So I'm thinking that's what they were going with there. So I'm going to just jump right in. Today I'm going to do a little bit more of a fun look. So if you guys enjoy this video, at the end, leave me a comment below, and I am thinking about doing just a more natural everyday look that would be more for anybody, whether you love crazy makeup, loud makeup, or just, you know, a soft look. I want to try and create both of those for you guys. So if you are excited about this and would like to see more, just leave me comments below and I will be happy to do that. Okay, so for the next part, I am going in with a Morphe brush. This one does not have a number on it. I think I got it in a shadow kit, but you can see sort of how it is. It's a fluffy brush, but it's not really tapered. It's just like a standard sort of fluffy brush. I'm so sorry it doesn't have a number and I can't tell you guys what exactly it is, but I'm gonna go in with the shade here. Grateful is what it is, and it is a peachy color. I feel like it has a slightly pinkish red undertone, and I am just going to work that in here, focusing underneath where I had that color before. I'll grab my mirror here and try and keep it out of your way this time. And I'm just blending it right under that initial color. Again, focusing on the outside and then just slightly fluffing it inward. I'm going to pick up a little bit more for the other side, tap off the excess, and here we go. Back over here. We have a little bit more pigment on our brush the second time. And then I like to go back sometimes with the brush that I used before just to melt those colors together. Okay, so here we are after the second step. Just starting to create a really warm little blend there. Okay, so to start out this look, I have gone in with the shade Love Handles right here, and I used my Morphe M441 brush. And I'm sorry I don't have this on film. I had to actually reshoot it because I was holding my mirror a little bit too much in the way, so it's hard to see what I was doing. But basically what I did is I just took this fluffy brush and went in here and just blended it all through here. And because I have hooded eyes, I do take the shadow slightly further up than other people may. This just works really good for the shape of my eyes and helps to open them up. If I go too far underneath the brow bone there, it does make my eyes look smaller and more hooded than I'd like. So I do focus that out and up so that it opens up my eyes. So that's a good tip if you do have hooded eyes like me as well. And I just went in with a really light hand on this brush and just built that color, added a little bit the second time, because typically with Morphe and with Jaclyn Hill's eyeshadows that I've used in the past, they are pretty pigmented. So I'd rather just build up a little bit at a time, use a light hand, and then add more if I need to, rather than create a serious situation that we just can't blend out. Okay, so I am now going in with another Morphe brush. This one is like the last one, but it is slightly more tapered, as you can see there on the end. Again, this one does not have a number on it. I think several of these came in a set together. So I am going to go back on my orders and see if I can not track down which brushes these are or some similar ones and link them down below for you guys. So if you want something similar to use, you can have it. So then I'm going to go in with this shade next right here. It's this one. It is a soft pinkish cranberry. It's not as deep of a or as true of a cranberry color as the shade Crazy, I would consider. And we are just going, again, slightly below where that last color was. And I am focusing on the outer edge. And I'm incorporating a little bit of that into the outer corner there and bringing it onto part of the mobile lid there. So pretty. The way that those colors melt together makes me think of like a sunset with the pinks and the oranges. So beautiful. If you guys have tried out this eyeshadow already, let me know what you think, or if you've seen any videos of looks with this that you just love, please let me know, because I'm going to have some fun for the next few weeks, I think, playing around with this. And I'm going back again with that initial brush as I go, just touching up spots that I feel like it's not super blended. Also, I have kind of purpley veins. You can sort of see one right there. And so sometimes it kind of makes me think that it's my shadow not blended out, but it is actually just my beautiful purple veins that are popping through. So I'm sorry, I know I make kind of crazy lips as I go through with my makeup. Old habits die hard, right? Okay, so this is after that third color has been applied. You can see what we're working with. Okay, so here I am going in with a third Morphe brush that is unnamed. Again, a fluffy brush. This one is even more tapered than the last one and slightly smaller in diameter. And I am tapping into that color Crazy. Crazy. Color's calling my name. That might say something about me. So we are going to focus that mostly on the outer corner, making kind of a V shape here. Blending it up and down and meeting in the middle there. I'm just flicking it out slightly to sort of feather it there. Go in on the other eye as well. Guys, this is so pretty. This is like, I don't even know why I do this. I've never seen it anywhere, or I don't know if it's anything that anybody else does, but I take my brush and like use the part slightly below the color and keep it like flat to your face almost and flick the color out. I just think that it kind of airbrushes it and makes it apply just gently so the transition's pretty there. Again, going back with that very first brush and blending. Blend, blend, blend. That's why I like doing eyeshadow. It's like doing hair. You just blend and you blend and you blend until you get the best results. It's all about layering and blending. Never thought of that before, you guys. I'm going back just with the excess that was on my brush of that shade Next and just blending it up here. Okay, so this is after we have applied the Crazy color. And that is the look. So this is where we are so far. So now I am going to go in with my finger. Actually, I think that you could use a wet brush on this, but I'm just going to try out the shade Empowered. So this is it right here. It's really pretty. I don't think you can even see. There we go. And we lost the mirror. But this is the color there. You can sort of see the shimmer in it. It is really, really pretty. And here we go. Wow, you guys, look at that color. That is so pretty. It's sort of showing up on my finger, slightly more pink. It looks like once you rub the surface off of it, it has almost like a pink with a purple shimmer sort of layered into it, like almost like a duochrome color. And I'm just gonna apply this with my finger right here on the outer corner. So that's how far in I go. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Guys, this just looks so pretty. I don't even think you can see on camera how gorgeous that is. But it is really, really pretty. I feel like I picked up a slight bit more on the first eye, so I'm gonna add a little bit more onto this one. Oh yeah. This is definitely buildable too. So I like that. Sometimes I feel like shimmers will just like only go on your lid so much and then they start to flake off. So this is definitely a buildable shimmer. It like hardly will come off of my finger when I rub it really hard. So that's great. Here we are after applying that outer color. And then I am going to go in with the shade Bougie. Yes, girl. This color right here. As you can see, it has also a pink tone to it. and it is really beautiful. Some of that peachiness is to it as well, which will go, I think, really nicely with those initial peachy tones that we used. So we are just going to stamp that on the rest of the lid. Again, being careful and sensitive of my lash extensions. I do not want to mess those up or get this product directly on them at all, because I don't get them filled till next week, and you know, we can't be walking around all week looking crazy in the lash department. I really gotta work on these faces I'm making, but you know, at least they're probably laughable for you guys. Oh yes, honey, this is beautiful. Wow. Okay, so after putting that on, I am thinking that I want to go back in just slightly with that shade next. I feel like I have just a slight disconnect right in here that I want to blend. So I'm just gonna go there and connect the dots, if you will. Really softly, because again, I want to make sure to give my eye that open eye shape, because your girl's got the hoods. Okay, so there aren't a ton of inner highlight colors. Let me see if I can find where I put her first palette. So one thing that I love about this palette is there are these shades right in here that are both really, really pretty inner corner and brow bone highlights. I even will use this one sometimes if I'm doing like a cool tone look, or this really light pink. They all work really well, I think, for inner corner colors, but there are only the matte white here and the I'm in it, which has a slight shimmer. So working with the warm tones, I would like a slightly warmer inner eye corner. I think that that could have replaced maybe one of the browns, but we will try it out. It might show up really pretty. I do feel like, let's see if you can catch it on the camera there. Maybe you can see that second color here. It does have a little bit of a pink when you look at it in a bright light. So hopefully that will show up on my inner corner a little bit. And maybe with my skin tone underneath, it won't look so white. Let's see, we'll go in with a little bit more. Yeah, it actually is showing more pink on my eye. Actually, it's a really cool color. So it even sort of has a purple tint to it. So I guess that was intentional, since there is a lot of pinks and purples in this particular palette. I do feel like you have to pick up a little bit more product on this shade than the other ones, but maybe that's just me wanting that extra inner corner pop. Who knows? And then I'm going to bring this down a little bit right in here. And I'm not super excited, like I said, about that shade with the purple. I don't really want that to go on the top of my lid, and the white I just think would be a little bit too intense for this look. So I'm just going to leave my natural skin tone, and like there's a little bit of concealer and powder that I put on there. You could go back with just whatever highlighter you're using and enhance that look, but because I'm trying to stick with just her palette today, we're just gonna leave it my natural skin tone there, and that will be fine with me. Then let's do a little bit of work underneath. Now I am going in with another Morphe brush that is not labeled, you guys. I am so sorry. My first one was labeled and I just thought that the rest would be, but I was wrong. These had to all come in a kit, but this is just a little penciled, very small tapered brush from Morphe, and I'm going to use that color to stamp into that shade next that we already used, and we are just going to work it underneath the lash line here. just barely. I don't add too much depth under my eyes. I have very, very small eyes, and we don't want to make them too much smaller. So I like to just blend that outer edge just slightly. And I don't go all the way in. I also don't really use mascara on my under eye anymore with my lash extensions. I just don't want to have to scrub under there to have to get it off. And it just smudges. I even use a lash primer, and I feel like it smudges. So, and I hate waterproof, like hate it. It's so hard to get off. Unless it's a wedding or a funeral or something, you know, where we know the tears are going to shed, we are going to avoid that. So, but if you guys have any recommendations for a non-waterproof mascara that stays really well, or a primer and mascara duo that work really well, please let me know. So I'm going to just comb out my lashes. And this is important to do so that your lashes stay nice and black and you're getting any product off of the top of them. Then I am going to put a little bit of a liquid liner on. This one is actually just from Wet n Wild, and it's a graphic marker eyeliner right here. It looks like this. Sorry I didn't have a Morphe one to use. I know I tried to do mostly Morphe products, but I did not have one for this. Oh, something crazy happened with my cap here. Okay. So, it looks like a marker. And you guys, this is from Wet n Wild, but it stays so good. And I had a lot of gel liners that I love, but the thing with gel liners and lashes is, again, the oil. And so this one is not at all oily, and so it is super easy to use. So I just go right in here and start about midway on my eye, if you can see that there. I'm gonna work my way out. And then I go back underneath there and fill in. I just feel like this is the easiest liner to use to create a little baby wing. It would probably be great for a dramatic wing too, but again, I have tiny baby eyes and I don't do too much of that because a crazy big wing on my little eyes almost makes them look smaller, and all you see is that big wing, so we don't want that. Okay, so I brush my lashes back out, and I will pop back on here and show you guys the final look and just some still shots. Hope you guys enjoyed this and it was helpful, and yeah. So this is the final look. I think that my first impressions of this product are really good. I think that the colors are beautiful and unique, and they are very easy to work with, very easy to blend. I honestly think that they're more blendable than my last Jaclyn Hill palette. Now, that may be that my palette I have had for a while now, and maybe the shadows are drying out or something like that. But I do feel like these are so easy to work with. So I'm really excited about that. I like the look that I was able to create. I thought that it would be a little bit more dramatic, and it totally could have been. Like I said, these shadows are so blendable, and had I used more of a packing brush than all of those blending brushes, I could have got it a lot more dark. But I actually really like the way that this turned out. I feel like it is just, like you can see, it's very soft and very wearable for a lot of different people, a lot of different eye types. And I do think this has actually turned out to be almost an everyday wear. I am still more than happy to go more dramatic or a slightly more neutral color eye look if you guys are interested in seeing that. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked my first thoughts on this. I hope that it helped you if you're thinking about buying this palette or not. please leave comments down below of what you think, what you'd like to see more of, and down below I'll leave the rest of my socials. I do post a little bit different content on each one, so make sure to check them all out so you don't miss out on anything. Make sure to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe and turn on that notification bell because I try to post at least a couple times a week, and so I'm working on getting a regular schedule going for that. So if you guys have certain days that you'd love to see videos, leave that down below too. I'd love to connect with you guys and produce content that you guys really love. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!